Top 1. The year 1944 was a pivotal moment in American history. World War II had entered its final stages, and the United States was still deep into the conflict. Yet, amidst the global turmoil, something fascinating was taking place back home in the United States Mint. A small, unassuming coin was being produced, one that would later capture the hearts of collectors and historians alike: the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny. This coin, often overlooked in circulation, would go on to gain legendary status. In this video, we're going to dive deep into the history, design, and legacy of the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny. We'll explore how this seemingly ordinary piece of currency became a collector's dream, and most excitingly, we'll uncover the jaw-dropping value that a single 1944 Lincoln wheat penny can command today. Let's get started. Let's rewind to the early 1900s. The Lincoln wheat penny, first introduced in 1909, was the United States Mint's way of honoring the nation's 16th president, Abraham Lincoln. The design, which featured a bust of Lincoln on the obverse and 2 ears of wheat on the reverse, was a symbol of America's agricultural roots and its reverence for the man who had guided the country through the Civil War. For decades, this design remained a staple of U.S. currency, but it's 1944 that stands out for coin collectors, particularly due to the unique circumstances of the time. At the height of World War II, copper was in high demand for the war effort. The U.S. government was using the metal for ammunition and other essential wartime materials. This led to a temporary change in the materials used for minting pennies. In 1943, a special issue of the penny was struck using steel and zinc due to the copper shortage. But by 1944, copper became available again. This led to a return to the traditional copper composition. However, it wasn't just the material change that made 1944 pennies notable. It was the specific way the coins were struck at the U.S. Mint that would make them stand out for generations. The U.S. Mint facilities that year produced 1944 Lincoln wheat pennies across 3 major mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each of these mints used different marks to distinguish where the coin was produced, which meant that each mint's version of the penny could be identified by a simple mint mark placed on the obverse side of the coin. The Philadelphia Mint, which was the largest producer, did not place a mint mark, while Denver used the letter D and San Francisco used the letter S. These mint marks would play a significant role in the value and rarity of the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny today. But here's the catch: it's not just any 1944 penny that can fetch big bucks. The coins from certain mints are rarer than others, and some have unique characteristics that make them stand out in the world of numismatics. But before we dive into that, let's take a closer look at the design of the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny. The obverse of the coin, featuring a right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln, was created by sculptor Victor David Brenner. Brenner's design was so widely recognized that the Lincoln portrait remained on the penny for decades. Around the portrait, the coin is inscribed with the words, "Liberty, in God we trust," and the year 1944. On the reverse side, you see the familiar ears of wheat, which give the coin its name. The reverse design, also created by Brenner, showcases 2 stalks of wheat curving inward with the words, "United States of America," above, and "E pluribus unum," below. In the center, the coin bears the denomination 1 cent. This simple, yet elegant design would remain a part of American currency until 1958, when it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design. But now, we come to the most exciting part of the story: the value of the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny. As we mentioned earlier, this coin wasn't just another penny produced by the U.S. Mint. In fact, certain 1944 pennies have become so rare and sought after that they are now considered some of the most valuable coins in American history. So, what makes a 1944 penny worth thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars? The key to a penny's value lies in its rarity, its condition, and its unique characteristics. Most 1944 pennies, especially those produced in large quantities by the Philadelphia Mint, are relatively common and worth only a few cents to $1 at most, depending on their condition. However, there are a few rare versions of the 1944 penny that have become the stuff of legends in the numismatic world. One of the most famous varieties of the 1944 penny is the 1944 steel penny. That's right, you heard correctly. In a highly unusual and nearly impossible to explain error, a small number of 1944 pennies were struck using leftover steel blanks from the previous year's 1943 steel pennies. These coins, which should never have been minted, became highly prized once they were discovered. A few of these 1944 steel pennies have surfaced in recent decades, and they are among the rarest and most valuable coins ever produced by the US Mint. So, how rare is this error? Well, estimates suggest that only about 20 to 30 1944 steel pennies exist in the entire world, and each one could fetch an extraordinary price. In fact, one such penny was sold for a record-breaking $1.7 million at a 2019 auction. That's right, one penny, worth only a cent when it was originally struck, is now worth millions. But it's not just the era coins that are valuable. Some of the regular 1944 Lincoln wheat pennies, particularly those in pristine condition, graded as MS67 or higher, can also fetch impressive amounts. In recent years, a few high-quality 1944 pennies have been sold for several $1,000s each. The condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining its value, with those that are well preserved and free from wear or damage being the most valuable. Of course, the 1944 pennies from the Denver and San Francisco mints are generally rarer than those from Philadelphia, and as such, they are often worth more. The 1944's penny, for example, is particularly sought after by collectors, and if it's in high grade, it can command a premium price. But no matter which mintmark your 1944 penny carries, the coin has likely appreciated in value since it was first struck. Whether it's due to the historical significance, the rarity of specific varieties, or the fact that a 1944 penny represents a piece of a tumultuous era in American history, collectors are eager to own a piece of this past. The Lincoln wheat penny has become one of the most recognizable coins in American numismatic history, and the 1944 variety stands out as one of the most fascinating. Now, we come to the big reveal. Are you ready to know how much your 1944 Lincoln wheat penny could be worth today? Well, it depends on the exact coin you have. If you have a regular, unremarkable 1944 penny in average condition, you can expect it to be worth around 10 to 50 cents. However, if you have a high-grade 1944 penny from one of the rare mints or, even better, a 1944 steel penny, you could be sitting on a small fortune. The highest recorded sale for a 1944 steel penny occurred in 2019, when a single coin was sold for an astonishing $1.7 million. For the regular copper pennies, prices can range from a few $100s to upwards of $120,000 depending on their quality and mintmark. That's right, up to $120,000 for a single 1944 Lincoln wheat penny. Imagine finding one of these rare coins in your pocket change, or inheriting one from a relative who didn't know its worth. So, how can you tell if your 1944 penny is valuable? Start by examining the condition. If the coin is worn or has visible scratches, it's probably worth only a few cents. But if it's in pristine, uncirculated condition, it could be worth thousands. The next step is to check the mintmark. A coin from the San Francisco Mint is rarer than one from Philadelphia, and one from Denver is rarer still. And if you happen to own one of those rare 1944 steel pennies, you could be looking at a small fortune. In conclusion, the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny is a remarkable coin with a fascinating history. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who stumbled upon one of these coins, it's important to appreciate the legacy and value of this piece of American history. From its unique minting circumstances during World War II to its current standing as one of the most coveted coins in the world, the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny is a true numismatic treasure. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into the history and value of the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more fascinating content about rare coins and collectibles. And who knows? Maybe you'll stumble upon a valuable penny of your own. Thanks for watching.